Hi guys, Frankie Tech here, and just wanted to do a quick 1 week update of my time with this phone, the Realme X2. Now I can definitely tell you guys are a lot more interested in this Realme X2 over the Mate 30 Pro and the Vivo NEX3 5G. Clearly, this is the mid-range phone that you are most looking at, and with this beautiful kind of plastic back, gradient back, and you got that quad camera setup. You have an AMOLED panel, 730G processor, 4,000 milliamperes. This phone ticks all the boxes in terms of a really quality mid-range phone, and I think that's why you're so interested in it. So my 1 week review so far, this phone has been great. It is just one of those very easy phones to use. And I think while I've been using these more expensive phones like the Mate 30 Pro, I've just kind of gone back to this phone, and it's nice to use, a flat edge display, a phone that just has very basic design, but is not really it's not like missing out on any of the key features. And so this phone really has the two key specs that I think you guys are all looking for at this price point. And that is an AMOLED display and a very fast in-display fingerprint scanner. And so that is something that, considering the price point, this phone offers in spades. And from a performance perspective, this is also offering, with that Snapdragon 730G, pretty solid, pretty amazing performance considering the price of this phone. 2500 single core, 6800 on Geekbench 4. This is Geekbench 4, by the way. So these scores are a lot higher than the ones I showed previously, but they are very much in line with what we saw from the Snapdragon 730 on the Mi 9T. And yes, this is the Mi 9T Pro right here. But I just say overall, my 1 week experience with this phone, the cameras have been really good. The 64 megapixel shooter has also been solid. And I've just enjoyed shooting with that main shooter. Now the wide angle and the telephoto, I don't think are as good. I think they are definitely, not as great. But I do like that there's that 5x option, at least, for shooting. And there's the wide angle as well, which I think in low light does struggle, but in regular lighting like this should do a good job as well. So not the best sensors, secondary sensors, but the primary 64 megapixel sensor is a major deal on this phone. And battery life has also been solid, getting a day and a half of use, no problems, 4,000 milliamperes. It just does a great job here. So the Realme X2 is a great phone, but how does it compare with some of the phones I've been testing here? So this is not going to be an exhaustive comparison, just looking at really the design and the displays of these phones. You can tell right there. Let's go to a full background. The most bezel-less look is clearly going to the K20 and the K20 Pro series right here. This is the Mi 9T Pro. And then we have the Redmi Note 8 Pro, which also has a very similar look to this phone. Now, just comparing these two, you can tell they're almost cut from the same cloth. The bezels are almost exactly the same size at the bottom, and the top teardrop notch is also similar. But I would say that you do notice that difference, and clearly the major difference here is that lack of AMOLED on the Redmi Note 8 Pro, especially in dark backgrounds. When you're in that black background, you can just see, especially at night, you can just see how just not immersive this is. Whereas on this phone, my gosh, at night, this is a joy to use, and I just love having that AMOLED display at this price point. Now, the K20 series, or I guess Mi 9T series, Mi 9T Pro, it does have an AMOLED display, and it is unencumbered, as you can see right here. There's no notch, and the bottom bezel is even smaller. So I would say the K20 or Mi 9T is still probably the better choice from a design perspective versus the Realme X2. But I'm not a huge, it's not a huge issue for me to have this teardrop notch. I really don't mind it that much. And if you're getting, better waterproofing with this phone over the Mi 9T or K20, well, then it's a good thing. And so, there are trade-offs with actually having to do a pop-up camera. And there are also trade-offs with not doing that. So you don't have as immersive a display. From the design perspective, though, this phone is at another level. The Mi 9T or K20, it is just gorgeous. In this blue or flame red, whichever color you get, it is the nicest looking phone in its price point, and it won't be beat, guys. This is using metal on the edge. It's got that gorgeous Gorilla Glass back. Yes, this is Gorilla Glass as well, but it does have that kind of plastic edge. Just doesn't feel as premium in the hand. And obviously from a performance perspective, they're much more on par. Now this is the Mi 9T Pro, so the scores of this are going to be a lot higher. Now, this is Geekbench 4. I shouldn't be comparing these, but the point is, this will score much higher in Geekbench 4 than this will. This will probably be down in the 500 range for single core, and I will be doing that comparison very soon between those. But just talking about these phones, really and their price points is another kind of factor. So I got this Mi 9T Pro for $3,500, but if we're talking about the actual Mi 9T, you can get it here in Hong Kong for around 2,500 Hong Kong dollars. And you can get the Redmi Note 8 Pro for around 1,000, probably under 2,000 now, 2,200 Hong Kong dollars. So the one that I feel is the most overpriced of the bunch is definitely this Redmi Note 8 Pro. I just feel, the fingerprint scanner location, the way the phone feels, it feels a little wider too, I don't know, but I do like this in the hand more than this phone. This phone, I mean, yes, it's got a 4,500 milliampere battery, which is a great spec. But I don't know, the Redmi Note 8 Pro has always felt very heavy. It hasn't felt really good in the hand. And when you get this phone in the hand, tell me if you feel that way. Maybe my hands are just a little smaller, but I just like the way this feels in the hand a lot better. Ultimately, I like the way this phone feels in the hand the most. Of these three, hands down, it is amazing. So talking about just the overall initial comparison between these phones, if I had to pick one just right off the bat, which would I pick? It's going to be the Mi 9T. Mi 9T, Mi 9T Pro series. As you guys know, I absolutely love this series of phones. They're just so good, and they just do the job. They just hit all those points that you want in a phone. From design, display, performance. I'd say the Mi 9T is the most balanced of the bunch. But then we have the Realme X2. It's coming in here at a price point that if you can get it for around that 2,200 Hong Kong dollars, you can get lower variants of this phone. If it goes even into the range of this Redmi Note 8 Pro, it wins already on having AMOLED, on having an in-display fingerprint scanner, and just I feel a more overall enjoyable handhold feel. And I don't know, something about it feels a lot more just like a phone that I want to use. And I don't know why that is, but a lot of it probably has to do with the AMOLED display and that fast fingerprint scanner and just the more ergonomic feel. And the last phone on the list here clearly is the Redmi Note 8 Pro. I don't know, guys. I've never been the biggest fan of this phone. I know a lot of you guys out there love this phone, but there's just something about it that missed the mark for me. And I really do, I'm straight up saying this, I really do recommend getting the regular Redmi Note 8 over the Redmi Note 8 Pro. At least there you have a Snapdragon 665, you have good battery life in that phone, and you just have a more kind of ergonomic, just a better overall feel as well. But I think when it comes down to it, it's all a matter of preference here. I know a lot of you guys are Realme haters. I know a lot of you guys don't like it. I know I've also been kind of critical of ColorOS, although I think it's really improved a lot recently. And so my experience with this phone, I think, has gotten a lot better from previous versions of Realme phones or even of Oppo phones I've used. So I gotta genuinely say, I like this phone. I really do like this phone, and I think you will like it as well if you're in the market for that kind of phone and that kind of price point. But it's going to be a hard competition between this and that Mi 9T that honestly holds a special place in my heart and maybe in a lot of your hearts as well. But that's it for this quick take comparison, guys. Just wanted to put something out here, and stay tuned. I will be doing a full PUBG showdown with these three phones, and I will also be doing a camera comparison coming up as well. So stay tuned for that in a separate video. But thanks for watching this, guys. And if you liked it, give me that thumbs up. And if you love the content of Frankie Tech, subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon for future updates. Guys, Hong Kong just burned last night. It was crazy. And, we're still on edge. The train stations are closed here. It is nuts. The subway system is down. I'm in shock. So I'm going to just get things together here. Bear with me, guys, because it has been an insane 24 hours in this town. And I do appreciate all your thoughts, all your wishes as we get through this really terrible time in this city that I love. Anyways, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. And this is where I leave you by saying, this is Frankie Tech signing off. Have a good one.